Before we start today's session, I'll share my screen and then we will take a quick overview of session number 1, which we conducted maybe 4 or 5 weeks back. So let's go through. If you guys can see my screen, just let me know. And you guys can use the chat box to answer all my questions and ask your questions. I want activity from all the students, and I love you guys to be active, because when you ask questions, when you answer questions, that means you guys are attentive and completely focused. All right, so we are going to do a quick overview of session 1, and then we will hop on to today's session. So this was session number 1. It would be a quick overview, of course. In session 1, we went through my introduction. Of course, my name is Mohammed Hamid Tariq. I'm a professional accountant as well as a mentor. I train QuickBooks. In session agendas 1, we focus on the introduction of myself and the introduction on QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online is an accounting software that is normally created by Intuit. It's focused on small and medium-sized entities, small and medium-sized organizations. You'd be able to do your accounting, bookkeeping, and finances on QuickBooks Online. And then we discuss about QuickBooks Online versus desktop. So we discuss this topic as parallel. What is QuickBooks Online? What is QuickBooks Desktop? So desktop was the previous version, the old version, in which you cannot save the data, in which you have very limited user access, and you have to access through that specific computer. And then Intuit introduced QuickBooks Online, which overcame all the problems QuickBooks Desktop had. So now you don't need to save it because it's cloud-based. QuickBooks Online is cloud-based. Everything is saved on the cloud, which means you just need the ID and password and all of your data can be accessed. And then in QuickBooks Online, you have multiple users access. So you don't have only one user in QuickBooks Online. If you have a team, you can provide access to all of your team members. Multiple users can work at a time. And then there are some other topics we discussed in this, the features we discussed. And then we were discussing about the scope and demand of QuickBooks Online. So once you learn QuickBooks Online, what is the demand? What is the benefit you are getting? You can work as an accountant, as a bookkeeper, you can provide your services, you can get jobs, you can work as a freelancer, as an independent contractor. So there are a lot of demands in your local market, in the international community as a freelancer as well. And then we discussed about strategy. So in a strategy, I was discussing that you need to provide valuable time to this field. How do we provide the time? For example, we're discussing this session. After learning today's session, you need to practice. You need to practice a lot, because if you don't do practice, you will forget. So practice will make it more fluent. Practice will make it more understandable to you. You'll be more confident whenever you are going to conduct an interview, whenever you're going to give an interview. Okay, and then we started the technical topics. In the technical topics, we discussed the nature of business. Anybody remember what is the meaning of nature of business? Anybody recall it? Any previous students in this today's session? All right, you can put your answer on the chat. Meanwhile, I'll explain it. In nature of business, the nature of business we meant how the business process, how the business makes money. We need to understand two major concepts. One is revenue and the other one is expenses. How the business is making money. Is it a service business? Is it a product-based business? Is it an e-commerce business? How the business is making the revenue, making the money. Second thing is what kind of expenses the business incurs. How the business incur the expenses. So in the nature of business, we need to understand how the business process works, how the business makes money, and how the expenses works. And then we were discussing about the packages, QuickBooks Online subscriptions. In the subscriptions, we had four different packages, four different subscriptions. Number one was basic, simple start, plus, and advanced. So once you understand the nature of your client's business, then you are going to provide them a suggestion that this specific package, this specific subscription would be suitable for your business. So you need to understand the nature of business very well, because if you understand the business, then you would be able to provide the suggestion, then you'd be able to provide the consultancy service, that which package would be suitable for your client need. And then we were discussing about how the client will provide you access to their accounts. So in this topic, we discussed that you need to provide your Gmail to the client, and then your client will copy the Gmail. He will go to the QuickBooks, go to the settings, and through the users, he will provide you access to your Gmail. And then we're discussing about the currency setup, basic setup of QuickBooks. This is client responsibility. We were very clear about the responsibilities. What is our responsibility as an accountant, as a QuickBooks expert, and what is client's responsibility? We are dependent on the client on a lot of things, like getting the access, like the basic setup, like getting the bank accounts or bank statements. So we are, as a team, we will be working as a team with the client. Some things client will do, some things we will do. Of course, our role is more to get the more things done. And then at the end of the session, we discuss about setting up a trial account. So my question to you guys is, how many of you has created the trial account? All right, on the chat. So Patricia, I remember Patricia in the previous session. Patricia says the type of business. That's correct, Patricia. All right. Anyone of you has created the trial account? No, none of you? Doctor says accounting is the first course that I recommend for business majors. Thank you, doctor. Anyways, anybody has created the trial account? Not all, because it's difficult. Okay, so if you find creating the trial account difficult, I have another solution, and it's the easiest of all. I'll share my screen with you guys, and I'll demonstrate how to create the trial account, or how to practice, right? And then we'll start today's session. Can you guys see my screen? If you guys can see the screen, just say yes on the chat box, so that I know that you guys are in the session and be very focused and attentive. Can you guys see my screen? If you guys can see the screen, just say yes so that I can move forward. Gloria says yes. Gracious says yes. That's great. And what about the other guys? Can you guys just confirm me that you guys can see the screen so that I can move forward? Alexandra says yes. Patricia says yes. Perfect. So I'm getting responses
If you can take the
some of
menu at the
students.
top and sort of like remove that menu, it'll make the presentation bigger. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Dale says yes. What about the other guys? Can you guys see my screen? Once you confirm, then I will switch to the topic. All right, so you go to any of your browser, laptop browser, go to Google and search for QuickBooks Online Test Drive. So if you find the trial account, creating the trial account difficult, you can use the test drive. So you search for QuickBooks Online Test Drive and then enter. And then open the first link. So you scroll down and click on this one, QuickBooks Online Advanced. Click in here. You don't need any email, you don't need any password. You just follow this, and then you'd be able to practice. So the purpose of suggesting this one is for your practice. You practice on this one, make yourself more fluent, more active, and more confident by practicing in this version. It will be available for a lifetime. So you can practice on this as much as you want. So you follow these small steps and you'll be able to get access to your practice QuickBooks test drive. I will provide more details, or I'll share more details about this once we move forward to the session. I just shared with you how to create QuickBooks Online test drive account. Okay, so this is your test drive. You can do all your things in here. What things we'll need to do, we'll discuss further in the session. Are we clear till here? Please say yes if you're clear, or if you need further, you can just say, or ask your questions. Are we all clear till here? Gracia says yes. Patricia says yes. All right. Meanwhile, you respond. Let's start today's session. So today is our session number 2 of QuickBooks Online and Bookkeeping. I hope you guys can see my screen. So we will go through the session agendas first, and then we'll discuss all the topics one by one. In today's session, we have a huge major topic, a very important technical topic is condition of the books/clients. We have 4 conditions. What are these conditions? We'll discuss them in detail, and then we'll discuss what are chart of accounts. What is chart of accounts? We'll discuss them in details. How do we prepare chart of accounts? We will discuss how to prepare chart of accounts in QuickBooks. I'll do it live so that you can make an understanding, okay? And then we'll discuss about what are opening balances, how do we update opening balances. There are 3 methods of updating opening balances. We'll discuss 2 of them today, and the journal entry in session number 3. And then we'll discuss about uploading bank statement to QuickBooks. What are bank statements? How do we upload bank statement to QuickBooks? We're going to discuss this as well. And then we'll discuss about how to connect or sync from online bank. This is client's responsibility. As mentioned, as discussed in the previous class, that we will discuss in details what is our responsibility, what is client's responsibility, and how do we make it work. And then we'll discuss some practical project sample, and we will complete today's session, okay? So let's start today's session with this topic, condition of the books/client. All right, meanwhile, Gracious has a question. Gracious is asking, I'm kindly asking, where can I get the first QuickBook part? You may respond later after the lecture. I think Doctor can guide you in this question. All right. So in our first topic, condition of the books/client. What does condition means? And what is the meaning of condition of the books/client, right? So let's create a situation, a case study, and a scenario. Whenever we let's discuss a scenario that we are in an interview with our employer, with our boss, okay? And he's conducting an interview to hire a bookkeeper, to hire a QuickBooks bookkeeper, right? So the word condition of the books/client means when he's conducting the interview in that specific moment, in that specific his books, meaning, is there any backlog? Is there any pending accounts? Is there any messy books? How long his books has been done? Is it quite up to date? Is it up to date till February 2026? Is it up to date till 2023? Is it up to date till 2025? So we would try to understand how far his accounts been worked, Are the accounts being reconciled? Are the books being updated? So in the condition of the book/client means we will try to understand the situation of the books. Is it up to date? Is it messed up? How far is it completed? How far is it not completed? Okay, so whenever we talk about condition of the book/client, there are four situations, four conditions which I normally faced so far in my 10 years of accounting career. Number one, manual to automation with backlog. Anybody has any idea what is manual to automation with backlog? Any of you has any idea about it? You can answer to my question on the chat. Manual to automation with backlog. Okay, let me explain it to you. Manual to automation. Whenever we say manual to automation, it means, for example, let's create a case study. You have a client who started the business in 2020, right? And in the interview, he says that I have been doing my books, I have been doing my accounts in Excel. So whenever any client is preparing the books in Excel, it means they're doing the books in manual form. They're punching the detail, they're punching the numbers manually. So he says that I have been doing my books manually on Excel, but now my business is growing. So I want to automate the bookkeeping process, automate the accounting process. So manual to automation. Whenever they say about automation, we'll say QuickBooks. QuickBooks is the automation, bookkeeping automation software, bookkeeping accounting automation tool. So from Excel to QuickBooks, that means from manual to automation. And whenever we say backlog, it means the client is asking for you to get the last 5 years data into QuickBooks. So from manual to automation with backlog means the client is asking you to move the data from Excel to QuickBooks and all the last 5 years data. Backlog means the historic data. All the historic data, all the previous data needs to be uploaded, needs to be updated in QuickBooks. Are we clear with condition number one? If you guys are clear, if you guys understand, then just say yes so that I can move to the next condition. Perfect. Alexandra says yes. Lucy says yes, that's great. Patricia says yes. Gloria says yes. Rose says yes. That's great. I love this activity. I want you guys to be active and responsive. And condition number two. So if you understand condition one, condition two is quite understandable as well. So condition is two is quite close to condition one. Condition two is manual to automation without backlog. Condition number two is quite similar, just one change. You have a client, again, a case study. He's asking to make the books from Excel to QuickBooks, but he doesn't want the historic data. So you don't update the historic data in QuickBooks. So manual to automation without backlog. In condition two, the client doesn't want any historic data. The client doesn't want any previous data. Okay, let's move to condition three. Previous bookkeeper's mistake. In this condition, there's a possibility that you have a client, the client has a bookkeeper, the client has already an accountant or bookkeeper. So Gracia says I missed condition one. Condition one means manual to automation with backlog. It means the client has the books in Excel. He wants to automate the process. So he wants you to implement QuickBooks for him from manual, from Excel to QuickBooks, and he wants all of the historic backlog data in QuickBooks. I think it's clear to you, Gracious. Okay, so condition number three, let's go back to condition three. Previous bookkeeper's mistake. In condition three, there are possibilities that the client has a bookkeeper, has an accountant, but the client is not happy. He's not satisfied with his services. Maybe he made a lot of mistakes. So the client says that I have a bookkeeper, but he's making a lot of mistakes. So I want you to review his work, find any mistakes, fix those mistakes, and then work on the current books. Are we good with condition three? Is condition three is clear to you? Lucy says yes. Dale says yes. Perfect. All right. Let's go to condition number 4. All right. In condition 4, it says client's own mistake. So condition 4, we make a scenario, we make a case study that the client was trying to do his books by himself, but it seems like he made a lot of mistakes. Maybe he was trying to do the books by using some YouTube tutorials, by using ChatGPT, by using Google, but because he's not a qualified accountant or a qualified bookkeeper, he made a lot of mistakes. Now the client wants you to review his books and find his mistakes and fix those and then work on the current books. Does this make sense? Are we quite clear with all the 4 conditions? If you're clear, just say yes on the chat so that we can move to the next topic. Condition 3 and 4 are quite similar to each other. Okay, so Lucy says yes, Alexandra says yes, Gracia says yes, Patricia says yes. Perfect. Okay, now I have a question to you. And you guys just answer in one word. So my question, listen to me very carefully. My question, it's $1 million question, right? So you have to be very attentive and listen to the question very carefully, right? So it's $1 million question. The question is, under which condition, if the client comes to you, there are more chances of you making more money? Under which condition you would be able to make more money? Is it condition 1? Is it condition 2? Is it condition 3? Or is it condition 4? I repeat my question. Under which condition you would be able to make more money? Can you guys answer to the question? Alexander says condition 1. Gracia says 2. Condition 2. Lucy says 4. Anyone else? Some chat. It seems like you are not active on the chat. Some chat. Can you answer to the question? And Moses, can you answer to the question? Patricia says 2. Dale says 2. Rose says condition 1. Moses says 3. So the correct answer is condition number 1. Because if you could understand this condition very clearly, the client says he wants you to do the books from manual to automation. He wants you to move from Excel to QuickBooks and all the backlog, all the historic data. There could be 5 years of data, there could be 10 years of data. So there are a lot of data needs to be processed, need to be updated in QuickBooks, which means more time. It will take more time and there are more chances of you making more money. Are we clear? Does it make sense? Condition 1 makes sense. Perfect. All right, let's move to the next topic. Patricia says yes. So in the next topic, we discuss about what are chart of accounts. Let me explain what the chart of accounts. Chart of accounts are the backbone of accounting. Chart of accounts are the core of accounting and bookkeeping. Chart of accounts, in order to understand them more easily, chart of accounts are like general ledgers. Do you know what is general ledgers? So I'll give you an example. I'll create a case study and it would be more easier for you guys to understand. For example, yeah, David and credit, that's right. That's right, Lucy. Yeah, for example, I am the accountant and I'm going for a meeting with another employee of another company, one of our vendor. I'm going to have a meeting with them, right? So company provides me car, company provides me fuel for the car because it's a business meeting, right? So whenever let's say my car has no fuel on the way, I I pump some fuel in my car, let's say $50 fuel, right? So the company pays for the fuel. In order to understand the chart of accounts, the fuel we put in our car, in which account we categorize this expense. We are going to categorize this expense in the fuel account. That is called the chart of account. Chart of account, in very easy word, is categorizing the transactions into their specific nature of head, into their specific head of accounts, is called chart of accounts. I will provide you a screenshot, a demonstration of key main elements of chart of accounts. So can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? There are five major elements. Lucy says yes, Gracia says yes. There are five major elements of chart of accounts consisting of. Number one is assets. Assets are your assets are like your assets, like your buildings. If your business has a building, that's your asset. You make some investment, you have an asset. You have some furnitures in the business that are your assets. You need to receive money from your customers, that's your asset. Liabilities. Liabilities, in other words, are your responsibilities. The loan is your liability. The money you borrow from somebody is your liability. The amount you need to pay to your vendors is your liability. And then equity. Equity is the money you put, your customer, the owner puts, the shareholder puts in the business is the equity. And then revenue. The money you make by selling your product, by selling your services is your revenue. And the last, not the least, is the expenses. Number five is the expenses. Expenses is the money you spent to run your businesses on day-to-day basis. Expenses are the money you spend to run your business operations on day-to-day basis. So these are the five major elements of chart of accounts. Are we clear? Are we understood what is chart of accounts? And then we will discuss how do we prepare the chart of accounts in QuickBooks. Are we clear about the chart of accounts? Lucy says yes. If you guys can answer me on the chat, then I'll move to the next topic. Moses says yes. Are we clear with the chart of accounts? All right, let's move to the next topic, how to prepare chart of accounts, okay? So I will go to QuickBooks, and this time we are going to discuss expense liabilities. Patricia, liabilities are your responsibilities. The money you need to pay to your vendors is liability. The loan is your liability, okay? All right, so we go to QuickBooks Test Drive. I explained to you guys how to access the test drive, okay? So you go to QuickBooks Test Drive, and whenever you're welcome, Patricia. Patricia says, thank you, sir. You're welcome, Patricia. So whenever, before we start any topic, we will always be on the dashboard or on the home button, right? So now we are going to discuss how to prepare chart of accounts in QuickBooks Online, okay? In order to create chart of accounts, let's say we are going to create the chart of account for a fuel expense, okay? We are going to create a chart of account for an expense, fuel expense, okay? So you go to all apps. Are you guys with me at the moment? Can you guys see the screen? I want everybody to be active, to be very attentive and see what I'm doing so that you guys can do the practice while after the call, after the session, okay? Moses says yes, Patricia says yes, perfect. So you come to all apps, Gracia says yes, you come to all apps, you go to accounting, and then from the accounting, the sixth option you have is chart of accounts. Okay? On the chart of accounts, you click on chart of accounts, there will be a new window, right? On the new window, you will see the green new account. Okay, so you click on the new account and there will be a pop-up screen. You need to put the account name. We are creating what? What are we creating at the moment? We are creating chart of accounts for what? We are creating chart of accounts for what? We are creating chart of accounts for fuel expense. So you need to write down the name of your chart of accounts, right? Fuel expense. And then from the account type, fuel expense. What is fuel expense? Is it an asset? Is it a liability? Is it an equity or is it an expense? Fuel expense is an expense. So you need to select the account type as expenses. And in the detail tab, you have to be more specific, like fuel expense goes close to which expense? Is it advertising? Is it bank charges? Is it communication? No, it's related to auto because you put the fuel, you put the gas in your car. So fuel expense more close to auto rather than all of this. So you put the name, you select the account type, you select the detail type, and then you save it. So we have a new chart of account as fuel expense. Okay, are we clear how to create chart of accounts in QuickBooks Online? Anybody has any question? This is the account we just created. Fuel expense, detail type is auto. Patricia says, yes. Are we clear? I want everybody to answer so that I can move forward. Perfect. And this is the same method. You can create more chart of accounts like revenue, like equity, like liabilities. This is the same process. You can create more chart of accounts. For example, I'll tell you how to create a chart of accounts for bank accounts. So you go to new account. For example, in US, we have a bank called Chase. So we put the name as Chase. In the account type, we select as bank. In the detail type, we put it as cash on hand. And we are done with the chart of accounts. Now we have chart of account for bank. So if I look for Chase in here, you will see the bank chart of account as Chase. There you go. Are we good? Are we all clear? Perfect. Let's go back to the session agendas. Updating opening balances. But before that, we need to understand what is opening balance. What is opening balance? Anybody has any idea? Opening balances. Okay, let me explain what is opening balances. Opening balances are the brought forward balances from the previous month or from the previous year. For example, as of 28 February 2026, Lucy has $1 million in her account, okay? 28 is the last day of February, or 29 is the last day of February. In last day of February, Lucy had $1 million in her account. So when the night changes and the day comes, a new month arrives on 1st March 2026. Will her fund, will her money go in the thin air? Will her money vanish? No. The bank will brought forward the closing amount to the next month. So she will have the same balance brought forward on the next month, on the first day of the March. So that amount is called opening balances. Opening balance could be on monthly basis, could be on day-to-day basis, could be on annual basis as well. Okay, are we clear on the opening balances? Now we will discuss how to update opening balances. Okay, there are three methods of updating the opening balances in QuickBooks. Okay, one is through chart of account. We just discussed how to create chart of account in QuickBooks, right? So now let's discuss how to update the opening balances while creating the chart of accounts. Let's suppose we are creating a case study. Let's suppose we are creating another bank account and we need to update the opening balance of that account. That account, let's say we are creating another bank account. We come to the chart of account, create the new account. In the account name, we put in as Bank of America. Okay, there is a bank in US. It's called Bank of America. The account type is bank, detail type is cash on hand. You see the opening balance. So you can update the opening balance while creating the chart of account. So in the opening balance, for example, this account has $10,000 as opening balance as of 1st March 2026. So you put the balance, you select the date, and you save it. Now we have $10,000 as opening balance in the Bank of America account. And if you want to see it, you search for Bank of America in search bar, you see Bank of America chart of account, and the opening balance is in here. Does this make sense? Perfect. Let's move. Perfect. Lucy says yes. That's perfect. Let's move to the next topic. So it says there's another method of updating bank statement, updating the opening balance, that is through bank statements. I'll discuss it in the next topic, in this topic. So we have another topic. It says uploading bank statement to QuickBooks. Okay. Before we discuss uploading bank statement to QuickBooks, do you guys have any idea what is bank statement? What is bank statement? Anybody has any idea? Yes. So bank statement is a statement your bank, your client's bank statement is a statement your bank provides. It shows withdrawals and deposit. Absolutely. It shows the money received and the money withdrawals. So the money your client received in the bank and the money spent in the bank. I'll show you a sample bank account, bank statements, so that you can have an understanding of it. Mm. So here is a sample bank statement. The bank statement could be in PDF. The bank statement could be in the form of Excel as well. Okay, so this is the bank statement. You would have the dates, you would have the description, we would have the deposit and withdrawal. So the bank statement should consist of 4 tabs, 4 columns: date, description, deposit, and withdrawal. If the client doesn't provide you the statement in Excel, they might provide you in PDF like this. So if the client provide you the statement in PDF, you need to convert it into Excel, okay? Because the only uploadable format in QuickBooks is CSV file, okay? So you need to convert it. How do you convert it? You go to Google, you search for convert PDF to CSV, and then you upload the file, and then Google will convert it for you, okay? So this is a sample file. Now we're discussing how to upload bank statement to QuickBooks. Rose says, is it a booklet provided by bank showing your deposit? Perfect, Rose. That's great. Okay, so now we're discussing how to upload bank statement to QuickBooks. Okay, so in order to upload the bank statement to QuickBooks, we need to go to QuickBooks. Before we discuss any topic, we go to Home, and then from the All Apps, you go to Accounting, you go to Bank Transactions. Okay, so you go to Bank Transactions. Let's suppose we are going to upload this statement for the Bank of America. So from the link account, you see the drop down, you click from upload from file, okay? You click on upload from file, it will show up a new screen, and then you need to select the account the statement belongs to. So these are the statement, for example, of Bank of America. And these are the supported formats. Currently, QuickBooks upload the PDF as well anyways. So you click on upload from this device and you select your file. You select your file from your 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 storage. So the only problem of using test drive is the QuickBook test drive doesn't allow you to upload the bank statement. So while practicing, the only drawback of QuickBook test drive is you cannot upload it. But for the sake of practice, you can create a sample Excel file and then try to do the practice, okay? But I explained you the process. How do you follow that process? Okay. The next topic is how to connect sync from online bank. You need to be very careful with this topic. You need to be very focused with this topic. So we are discussing how to connect / sync from online bank. So QuickBooks sometimes allows these banks like Savings, MasterCard, the PayPal, the checking account. QuickBooks allows your bank to connect with QuickBooks through online. This is client's responsibility. If you see, I write it down as client's responsibility, which means your client can connect their bank account from here. Link account, your client click on link account and connect their bank account with QuickBooks. If your client doesn't know, you let him know that you can connect your bank account to QuickBooks by clicking on the link account and search the client's bank account name. For example, Chase. Chase is their bank. So they can connect. Because we are the accountant, we are not the owners, we don't have the ID and password to their bank. So the client will do it. Once they link or connect their account with QuickBooks, we don't need to upload the statements manually because QuickBooks will sync or link all the bank transaction automatically. You understand this? So if your client can connect their bank account with QuickBooks, then we don't need to upload it. Make sense? If the client bank doesn't allow to be connected with QuickBooks, then we need to upload the bank statement. Are we clear till here? So these two topics, uploading bank statement and connect topics, these two topics are interrelated, are correlated with each other. If one thing happens, the other thing doesn't need to be happen. Are we clear? If you guys are clear, you can just let me know through the chat. All right. So before we move to the question answer session, I have some practical projects so that we can have an understanding. Uploading bank statement means you need to have all your transaction in QuickBooks. For that, you need to upload the statement in QuickBooks. You go to all apps, accounting. From the link account, click on the drop down, click on upload statements, and all your statements will be uploaded. All your transaction will be uploaded in QuickBooks Online. Okay, Lucy? All right. Before we move to the question answer session, question answer segment, let's discuss a practical project. I extracted this project from Upwork. Upwork is a freelancing platform. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Moses says yes. Lucy says yes. Okay. All right. So we are going to discuss a practical project and then we move to the question answer session. Okay. I extracted this this project from Upwork. So the project says in the title it says need a bookkeeper. Okay. The client is looking for a bookkeeper. And it says, I need someone to create a chart of account to enter purchases invoices, and expenses in QuickBooks Online. So the client is looking for an accountant and he needs someone who can help him to create the chart of accounts for purchases, invoices, expenses in QuickBooks Online. And the client says, I have all the scans. Not a lot should take more than 5 hours. The client has a $50 budget. So it's a very easy project once you understand the chart of accounts we discussed today. They want the revenue, they want the expenses, and they want the purchases. It's very easy. You can create a lot of chart of accounts and then get this job completed. So there are a lot of projects for the topics we have been discussing as well. Okay. All right. Now you guys can ask your questions. We have the last 10 minutes of today's session. You can unmute yourself and ask your questions one by one, okay?
Actually, it's better to raise your hand and then we can ask you to activate your microphone.
Yes, please. Listen to Doctor. He knows all the ins and outs and all the technicalities.
Because right now they can't unmute their microphone. They have to raise their hand and then we ask them.
Okay, please raise your hand so that
I
the
saw a
doctor can
question.
provide you access.
I think it's good to just go through and talk about what are assets and liabilities again. Sort of break those apart.
Absolutely.
There's a little
Absolutely.
bit of misunderstanding.
Sure. Lucy raised her hand. Meanwhile, I'll explain that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was late to come onto the program. I didn't get the first bit of it. So I think I'm really, yeah, that's why I am behind, and I'm not quite familiar with what happened in the first part of the session. I only started off hearing the conditions from condition 1 going forward.
Yeah, that's where we started the session, the conditions. That's where we started the sessions.
Yeah, but I think you were just rounding off on something, some introduction of some sort.
Oh, yes. That was the session 1. I think you missed the session 1. Maybe you can consult with doctor. He might provide you the recorded lecture of session 1 if he has the recorded ones.
Okay. Then the other thing is that I didn't get the uploading of bank how to upload bank statement to QuickBooks. I didn't understand that.
Okay. Do you want me to share the screen and then show you the process? Or just explain it to you?
Yes, I think, yeah, if you could do that for me, thank you very much.
The sharing the screen, okay? So in order to upload the bank statements, you go to QuickBooks. Okay, I'm sharing my screen and then I'm explaining it. Yeah, so you go to QuickBooks, you go to all apps, you go to accounting, you go to bank account, and then at the top you see link account. On the drop down, you click on upload from file, right? So you have your statements ready, and then you need to select the bank account these statements belong to. For example, is it Bank of America? Is it Chase? Is it saving? Is it checking? Let's say it's Chase, right? You select the bank as Chase. Now you upload your file. You have the bank statement. Now you upload the file. And that's it. Because we are in the test drive doesn't allow us to upload it. Okay, but in your client's account, they'll definitely provide you the access to upload it. Make sense? Perfect. Next, Joseph raised the hand. Doctor, if you could provide him the access to unmute and ask the questions.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Yes, please.
Hello. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We
Yes,
can hear you fine.
thank you very much. Thank you. Mine is on the elements of chart of accounts. You gave us the 5 elements of chart of accounts, but I wanted to know where the donation and corporate social responsibility can fall. Donations under the 5 elements.
Yeah, absolutely. Donations
Yes.
mostly are part of the expenses.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Anyone has any other question, you can raise your hand.
Just if you could go over the liabilities and assets.
Sure. I will share the screen and then give a brief explanation of or the liabilities and assets as well. So liabilities and assets. I'll go to the elements of chart of accounts right here. Okay, so assets, we need to understand assets. Assets are all the things we own. All the things, whenever I say we own, it means the business owns. So the business own, let's say the business has a building, the business has some investment, the business has some furnitures, the business needs to receive money from its customer. All these things we own. These are all our assets. We use these things to generate revenue, to make money. So these are all our assets. And liabilities are our responsibilities. We need to pay this. This is our responsibilities. For example, we took a loan from the bank. That is our liability because we need to pay it at some point in life because this is a loan. And then let's say we need to pay our vendors. We took the product from them, but we say that we will pay it after 30 days, after 50 days. So this is a liability. This is a responsibility. We need to pay those money in future after some days of our business. I see. I hope this clears you all. I see Patricia has raised the hand. Doctor, can you kindly unmute her?
Patricia, do you see a little message on your screen to unmute your microphone? Try again. I don't know. It almost looks like her screen froze. Let's go to Rose Mensa.
All right. Rose also raised the hand.
Sir,
Rose,
good
please.
afternoon. Sir,
Good afternoon.
I also didn't get how to upload your information into the QuickBook. I didn't get it right.
So
can you
okay,
revisit it once again?
absolutely. I'll try to share the screen with you again, and then explain how to upload the statements process again. Okay, so I'm explaining how to upload the bank statement in QuickBooks. So in order to upload a statement, you go to QuickBooks. Before we discuss any topic, we are always on the home. Okay, you go to all apps. I hope, Rose, you are able to see the screen. You go to all apps, you go to accounting, you click on bank transactions. All apps, accounting and bank transactions. So once you click on bank transactions, all of your bank accounts will be in here. On the top right, you see link account. On the drop down, you click on upload from file. And this is the file, the bank statement we are talking about. And in here, it says select the QuickBooks account for your file to upload. So they're asking for which bank account the file belongs to. So let's say we have a bank account called Bank of America, and it says upload from this device. So you have the bank statement saved somewhere in your device. You click in here and you select your file. Let's say this is the file. You select it and then you click on, because we are using the test drive, it is not allowing us. But after that, you click on continue and your files will be uploaded. Your statements will be uploaded. Does it make sense?
Yes.
There's one question that you already have transactions posted in the accounts. And then when the bank statement comes up and loads in those same transactions, aren't they duplicated at that point?
That's a great question. That's why in the session we said that these two topics are interrelated. These two topics. So if we upload the bank statements, then we do not sync them. If the client bank account can be connected with QuickBooks, then we don't need to upload the bank statement. We only upload the statement if the client bank's account doesn't allow to connect with QuickBooks.
Say that last part again. We only upload the statement if. Go ahead. What did you say?
Yes. If the bank doesn't allow to connect with QuickBooks.
Oh, is that very common?
I think it's very rare now because most of the bank accounts from US can be connected, from Canada, from Australia. You can say 90% bank accounts can be connected now.
How many accountants actually use the bank statement to upload transactions?
So this is a great question. In order to check or make an understanding, you click on link account, and then we can see the list of accounts that can be connected. If the bank account's name is not listed here, then it needs to be uploaded. You see, these are all the accounts that can be connected. And if the list is not here, you may search for it. Let's say PayPal. If you see PayPal, PayPal can be connected. If we do not see it, those cannot be connected. And in that case, we need to upload the statements.
And all of the other transactions, like for accounts payable, accounts receivable, those have to be entered manually.
Exactly. And we are going to discuss those topics in the session number 3.
Got it.
It's a
Are there any
step-by-step,
questions about
step-by-step.
that? Are there any questions about that? That the bank statement just has transactions where money flowed through the bank or out of the bank. But that's like that's even payroll, that's paying off accounts payable, that's even accounts receivable, that's even sometimes the credit cards payments.
Exactly.
Do you also upload credit card statements?
Absolutely. So the credit card statements, bank statement, the uploading process is same for all. I use another term for the bank statement. The bank statement, in other words, are called as source document, because all of your money will flow through your bank statement. Is it account receivable? If it is accounts payable, is it your credit card? Everything will flow through your bank statements. So the bank statement is a source document.
And then you'll have your invoices off to the side for accounts receivable, accounts payable.
Absolutely.
And then if you have a loan that you're repaying, you'll have statements on that too. Can those be uploaded, or do those entered manually?
Those can be uploaded. Those can be uploaded as well.
So any statement can actually be uploaded into the program.
Absolutely,
if it'll,
that's correct.
like you say, if the statement allows itself to be uploaded, is that correct?
Not really. We can make it in our format and then upload it.
Perfect. So, any questions about this? Because we're now at the end of our time. Any questions? I don't see any more questions.
Say, how do we have access to the QuickBook?
How do you add
Hello?
assets to QuickBooks?
How do we access the QuickBook on the computer?
Oh, yes. This was a topic we discussed in session 1. You need to provide your Gmail to your client. So once you provide your Gmail, the client will copy your Gmail and go to QuickBooks, go to settings, and then add you as a user. So you will receive a mail that your client has invited you to use their QuickBooks Online. You receive the invite, you put in your email and password in the invite, and then you'll get the access. I hope this answers your questions, Rose.
Yes, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that's going to do it. We've run to the end of our time. Thank you so much, Muhammad Hamid. What are you going to talk about next time?
Next time, we are going to discuss more on the expenses. How do we create the expenses in QuickBooks? What are the bills? How do we create the bills in QuickBooks? So we are moving to more technical topics. First session were more of an introductory session. We discussed the basics. Second, we're creating the basis. We are constructing
building the income statement.
Yes, and then eventually in the session number 6, we are going to discuss all the financial reports, like income statement, like the balance sheet. So it's a process, step-by-step process. We are making them into the process, step by step, going into the process.
Excellent. All right.
Perfect.
Everybody has their homework to practice. You know what to do. I'm going to allow everybody now to unmute your microphones. I can figure out these. Let's see, unmute microphones. Yes, you can all unmute your microphones now to say thank you and bye.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much.
Bye.
Hey, thank you,
Thank
everyone.
You.
Thank you.
I'm a rural, but you run
Remember,
I'm not
accounting is like being the doctor, the medical doctor of a business. You have to have the information to know if it's healthy or not. Accounting is
Right.
very important.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. It was an amazing session. Don't forget to do your assignments till the next session.
Bye-bye.
Bye.